Can you talk about one of the things that you said was finding quality publishers, good publishers? Can you talk about some of the characteristics, like what you're looking for? Because there's so many different libraries and publishers now. And even, after, 10 years of doing this myself, I'm constantly discovering new companies. So what are sort of some of the attributes that you look for in terms of signing with new companies?
Yeah, me too, because I'm kind of at the point where I work with a good 5 or 6 publishers very closely, and they take care of me, and I could live just fine with them. And if I ever wanted to expand, it would be hard to kind of get back out there and find good publishers. But a very good resource that all the, a lot of the professional TV and licensing composers use is called the Music Library Report. So you can go to musiclibraryreport.com. It's a great website. You could even they have like 1-day subscriptions, because sometimes composers just like to go in there for 1 day and just get all the research. It's like $2.99, or you can get a 14-day membership. And it's a database of every freaking music library you ever heard of, and all legit, real composers reviewing them. A lot of the times the libraries respond. There's a lot of complaints on a lot of libraries, a lot of honest opinions, and there's a lot of full-time, real pro composers that go there. And that was a great resource for me, because especially if you're working full-time and you got a family, you want to make sure that every track you write is going to a place that's going to monetize it. You want to make sure that your music has a clear path, or a clear as you possibly can path to monetization, that you're working with a publisher that has good credits, their website looks good, they've been around for a while. But also work with some independent publishers, because working with small publishers and small teams is cool, because you kind of grow together. And that's what I do with my team too. We're very small, but you got to work with big publishers too. You can join the Production Music Association. They have a great list of all the kind of major publishers, the ones that buy everyone out, BMG and all these big companies. You want to try to connect with the big wigs, try to connect with some small publishers. But Music Library Report has everything. You could search by ranking, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, but hit every 5-star library. Send a demo reel, 10, 20 demos every day. Use that resource. There's some good ebooks out there that actually have lists of libraries. You could just, Google music libraries. So there's many ways to search, but you at least have to start with 10 or 20. Get a few briefs coming in your emails. Get used to the system of sending out MP3s and getting feedback and doing stems and approvals. And all right, just kind of get used to the workflow, and then maybe connect with another publisher. Before you know it, next year, you might be getting a strange email from BMI saying royalty statement. What the freak is this? All right, $5. Woo, drinks on me. And then a year later, hey, $200. This $200 is coming every 3 months. All right, let's go more publishers. And then you start, your name, your reputation with your publisher starts to go up more. So then maybe your publisher starts sending you work, and it's that symbiotic relationship which makes production music really fun, because it's all about relationships and people work together a lot. In other music industries, it can be very cutthroat, very competitive. Like composers that work on films and big movies are very competitive, fighting for work. But TV music composers and publishers, they really work together very well, because when a composer is successful, their publisher is successful. And when a publisher's working hard, the composer's successful. So it's fun to work as a team like that. But you do have to get started and find the good libraries. And I really recommend Music Library Report, because the business is very crowded right now, and there's a lot of libraries, and a lot of people don't have the patience to wait a year until they receive money for their tracks. So maybe you just got to find a bigger library that can push your tracks faster. But if your music isn't ready to be submitted there, then you have to maybe start with smaller libraries or things like that, or just don't worry about libraries and just worry about learning how to be a better composer, a better music producer first. So yeah, there's several resources. And a lot of the times you could just look up the TV shows and you could find, what library works for those TV shows or provides. I mean, IMDb is full of information, so you can get a lot of names. And, a lot of people back in the day, a music library wouldn't respond for like 6 months to demos. Now I think they respond very soon. That's what's really nice. That's changed a lot. People respond to emails really quickly. So you send them a demo, they'll give you a yay or a nay, and then just respond to their emails, say yes, shut your mouth, get it done, don't complain, deliver everything on time, be a team player, and give it 3 years. And if you do everything right and keep your head down and be respectful and appreciative and manage expectations, you'll be doing it full time. But I make it sound easy, but it's really. And I've worked with a lot of people that I've had to sever relationships with because I didn't think they just weren't cut out for it. To be honest, their tracks are named poorly. Deadline's always late. They're always got an excuse. They're always asking me, "Hey, how come the tracks haven't placed yet?" Like trying to, blame others for their tracks not moving. And so those kind of mindsets I don't have time for that kind of stuff. And that just means you don't have you don't have the mindset to be a composer or producer. So it's a mindset thing. It's a skills thing. It's a personality thing, a professionalism thing. It really is a lot that goes into kind of becoming full time. Because if you're going to make a living, being a school teacher or something, you got to dress up nice in the morning. If you're going to be an office worker, you got to dress up nice and follow the rules. If you're going to be a full-time freelance composer, you got to, step up and really follow the rules and do everything professionally. And it's a business. So a lot of people don't have that kind of savvy yet, but they can develop it if they give it the time. Give it 2-3 years, kind of study under someone, do some 50% tracks with someone that really knows what they're talking about, then give it a year, learn about the tax laws and things like that, learn about PayPal, learn about, work for hire and NDAs, and go through a couple licenses, and then just keep growing and be a sponge. And for me, I was kind of just by myself with books and Google, and there weren't any ebooks or cool sites like yours. So I was just kind of learning by trial and error. So it took me a good 3 years. But these days you could even do it in 1 year if you really focus and learn. But then when you get there, you got to be able to stay there. If you're full time and you give up a nice job with insurance and benefits, and your friends are all dentists and they're doing all right and they get the weekends off and everything, and everybody has kids and you're still single and stuff, you got to deal with that lifestyle too. And you got to be able to maintain that lifestyle and maybe not get any money come in for a month or two. And are you able to save properly and, take these big checks that make you excited and say, well, wait, I got to make this thing last 6 months, right? Let's be responsible. So always learning how to live as a full-time freelancer is not easy, but it can be done. Just have the mindset, man. So I think that's probably my word for this stream. The last one was grit. This one here is mindset, because I've been finding myself say that a lot. I think it's a mindset is very important.